All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Championship Series here for Challenger in Season 2, live from Europe, as we now get into our fourth series of the day. We've already had some pretty amazing results come at us. I think we can actually take a quick look at what has gone on so far. The zip continues.
It continues.
Oh my god.
The WCS pattern continues. This means that Petraeus must lose this next match.
All right.
Otherwise, he breaks the chain.
Is it going to be broken in the last two series? Because if it is, then damn you players.
The thing is, I'm really looking forward to this map, and I think Petraeus is going to win.
Uh-oh.
So it's going to be broken.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right, well, our first map is going to be Varney Research Station between MorroW and Petraeus. Let's take a look at these two a little bit closer, obviously, here in match number 4 of the day. Two really strong proponents of each other. MorroW had the most amazing upset in Season 1.
Yeah, he had a good win. He was, well, he beat the champion, or the finalist, should I say, in the round of 32 in Terran versus Zerg Hydra, I'm referencing. But here we are in a match where Petraeus was one of the last players to get picked. No one really wanted to play against him for good right. He's definitely one of the best players in Europe undercover, and he hasn't broken out properly yet. But everyone knows and respects this guy as to be one of the best. He practices very hard, he trains very hard, and he's a beast. And I think that's what we're going to see today. I'm actually expecting a lot of things from Petraeus this season. He's never qualified to Premier League before, but I have a feeling this is going to be it. But MorroW's up against it as our Premier player today.
Yeah, I would say so as well. He had a pick down the wrong. It was quite low down there. Obviously didn't quite want Petraeus as first pick. That would be quite unlikely indeed. And very important as well to note that Petraeus, I think, is our first Grandmasters player in the entirety of this system, with the current ranks being how it is.
That's
so
right.
Even higher rank than you, Sean.
Yeah, he's a league above me, just a league.
All right, so it looks like we are good to go here into our first game on Varney Research Station. What are you expecting from Petraeus? I haven't really seen as many Petraeus games in this matchup as others.
A perfect Zerg versus Terran. Great macro, great mechanics, deflecting every type of attack that comes his way, and then just steamrolls in the mid to late game. Just a really dominant performance coming out from him.
All right, well, we are getting loaded up and good to go. This is our second to last series. Only 2 spots in Premier League remain for Season 2. So let's jump into things as we have on Varney Research Station. Spawning down to the south, it is our red Terran representing Team Property. It is MorroW, who's been around for absolutely forever now. And up to the north, we have our blue Zerg. It is My Insanity's Petraeus, who made the migration over here to Europe to battle it out with the best of them.
Yeah, I really am expecting a lot from him, but we'll see. MorroW's a great player. He did defeat Hydra, and that is not an easy feat. The last time he actually played Petraeus, and the only time he played Petraeus, was actually just about... No, it was... Yeah, last month it was. In the 7th of March, on an online tournament, they played, and MorroW won 2-0. So a result that was just about 5-6 weeks ago is still pretty relevant today. Obviously, form comes into consideration, but MorroW has what it takes to beat this guy. Petraeus already looking around for any proxy barracks that could be hidden with his first Overlords.
Yeah.
I'm going to swing around to the right-hand side, but we'll see how well he's going to play. If he lives up to the hype, I think he's going to get more than just a position in Premier. I think he'll go further. Well,
we'll find out in a bit. For me, the hype hasn't hit just yet for Petraeus. For me, he has to kind of prove it on this kind of stage. As MorroW is our Premier League player, but as we said before, he had to choose kind of down the run there when it came to his opponent. So Petraeus was picked very, very late in that order. There's a lot of Europeans do fear him, as you mentioned.
Yeah, MorroW was the 11th player to pick out of all. So there was only a couple of players left to pick from, and unfortunately Petraeus was one of them, and he decided to choose that over the Protoss players. Petraeus was the last remaining Zerg, and MorroW wanted to play Terran versus Zerg over Terran versus Protoss. So fair dues to him.
Yeah, he's always had a really good eye and a good keen understanding of this matchup. I mean, he played both sides of it for a long, long time. There was a moment where he even, it's a long time ago now, but he would even race switch in between, like, in between series in tournaments, if he was allowed to, of course, and in some he was.
Yep, definitely gave him an edge a little bit. But he's opening up command center first, so he's really looking to power up the mid game. And this is funny because this map's pretty good for Reapers, but he's gone against that, straight to command center first.
And eventually this Overlord will get over here and spot this. So once he does see that, he knows he's not under too much threat, not under too much problems here. Of course, he's getting that gas in and would like to have that speed on the way pretty soon here with Petraeus, but that's usually for Reapers to actually fend them off.
Yeah, and in this game he's not going to do that, so he'll use the speed to control the game, and as soon as he sees the command center first, he actually takes out a gas.
Yeah.
And is like, alright, cool, whatever. I guess I'll get that upgrade a little bit later, so he's just going to sit around with 64 gas in the bank for now. And he's going to be wanting to take his third hatchery pretty much immediately, because there's nothing that can happen and no pressure that can be dealt over until the Hellions are out. And it's better to get that hatchery down now than later, because you might not get it down later. And then, of course, to help creep spread as much as possible to protect against the inevitable Hellion play.
MorroW with clean waypointing around, just try and clear out any Overlords that would have perched themselves in the middle of the spot. And fully enough, this one is up to the top, so a bit out of reach of that Marine. As the Zerglings now will push on forwards and get a good scout of what's going on at the top. So he sees the follow-up after the command center first. And even a bunker, just as a little bit of an insurance policy here for MorroW, just in case his opponent's doing something, because he hasn't any information at all in this game thus far.
Information is key. 3cc, MorroW playing typical Terran macro standard. Double engineering bay hype as well, that should be coming up shortly. And just looking to outplay Petraeus, so they're really going toe-to-toe. There's no cheese in this game. There's nothing along the lines like that. I don't think I'll expect that from Petraeus either. Just pure macro awesomeness. Terran versus Zerg, best matchup in StarCraft.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good. He's going to switch over there as well with his barracks and starport, get the add-on there so that he can start pumping out his units for that. And for now on, Petraeus has that third base on the way as well. Even spreading a little bit of creep towards it, making sure he's going to be all nice and clean down there.
Nice and fast layer over anything else. So, Layer offers the Spire really early, and that is quite common from this position. And the more he waits, and there are no Roach War in it will be, the more likely it will be that Spire.
Has got confirmation of what's going on as well behind this with the switch up of the starport onto that tech lab. Knows that is going to be going on, and will be trying to prepare for a Banshee pretty soon. Yeah,
so it's nice and easy Overseer because of the timing of the layer being so fast.
Yep, and even a Spine Crawler at the front, just to make sure that these Hellions aren't going to get too frisky with this main base.
Yeah, I like the Queen production. Should be able to easily push back these minimal amounts of Hellions. It's good to know that he sees the Cloak Banshee on the way. Where's the double engineering bay hype? No, armory hype. So it's going to be Hellbat and Banshee. Pressure to that third behind 3 command centers, so very good economy. But there is a Spine Crawler and 3 Queens out. Can easily build another one.
But does he gauge how fast this Spire's coming in? Because surely the Spire shuts down all of this.
Yeah, MorroW hasn't seen anything, so no, he doesn't know. So it's a nice and easy answer. But he could be in trouble. By the time he moves out there, I don't think the Mulus will be ready, but he needs to prepare himself for the counter. There is no engineering bay. There is no turrets, not Legacy of the Voids. He does have an armory to help build Thors, but that's not going to be good enough at this stage.
And so MorroW going for Mega Mech and looking to try and punish Petraeus here. It's a good map to try and do it, but when the Mutalisks are going to be out this quickly and he's going to try and keep his opponent on the back foot, it is kind of annoying here for the Terran.
He's keeping the one Banshee back and hiding it, even though it's been spotted a long time ago. And by the time the 2 Banshees move out together, there more than likely will be Mutalisks looking at it now. Kind of waited a long time for this. And there they go, and already as well, Petraeus picking up the Mech Scout, adds on the Roach One and Evolution Chamber, so it's going to be Mutalisk into Roaches afterwards. And this Hellbat and Banshee thing is kind of delayed because of the fast Spire that's catching MorroW a little bit off guard. This shouldn't work out too well. Yeah,
8 Mutalisks about to pop. He's going to try and swing in at the third base, but the Queens will push him away. And they're just buying time for the inevitable Mutalisk chase away.
Yeah, this kind of sucks. There is an Overseer as well that's waiting for the Banshees at the back.
Yeah. Mutalisk can just turn around. They popped out there, and they were all rallied to the Overseer anyway. So just get back there and chase those back. Now MorroW realizes, whoop, maybe it's time to not be sticking around for too much longer.
Yeah. and gets that pushback nice and easy. And from this position, it's just all about building that high roach count. I like the single evolution chamber, 4th base coming in, creep spread looking decent. And now we've got to really see what has been a problem as of recently, or at least Zerg players complained about, is how do you beat mech? Let's see how Petraeus does it.
Yeah, it can be scary. Now, obviously, the previous solution was Swarm Host. We even saw Mutalisk mixed into that, just dancing around and waiting for your opponent to bleed out, basically. Keeping them contained.
Whoa! 2 Widowmine
MorroW.
hits. Pretty good ones.
Wow, wow, wow.
Hidden behind that refinery. Nice move there by MorroW.
Yeah, really good stuff. Resources lost very much so in MorroW's favor. Really well done.
Yeah, so far so good here from MorroW. Just kind of chilling out. Not going to be in any danger anytime soon. He's got a good setup across these 3 bases. Looking actually very clean with his mech.
Yeah. Army supply at the moment, dead even, as he will be able to eventually push this small force away to the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Mutalisk's really not in any numbers at all now to do anything.
No, these roaches can't do anything either. Going to go up towards Hive, so you can imagine that we are going to see Vipers in this game.
MorroW wants to put us back on schedule, apparently, as he will be playing this one out nice and slow, taking it steady.
Yeah, this could be a long series if he's going to play mech throughout it.
Yep. Petraeus needs to look for answers. He's got his Hive morphing in, and from there on out, the thing is that, yes, as much as he is playing mech, he's not really slowing Petraeus down in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he doesn't have to, though. Not when you play mech. When there's no Swarm Host to use, it's just about getting to the 4-5 base and unbeatable army.
And
Swarm Host used to be the way to deal with it, and now they're gone. It's up to Zerg to be aggressive, not the Terran.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much Terran versus Zerg either. I mean, there's all the Zergs that were choosing at the very beginning of the Premier in the seedings, they mostly chose like mirror matchups and stuff like that, right? So this is really a proper first glimpse of WCS into this kind of matchup to see how Petraeus is going to solve the puzzle.
And there's a lot of Zergs been complaining about this recently. A switch over of upgrades now from Petraeus going over towards melee and focusing on that Ultralisk Cavern and Queen production. So he's going to build up a Ling, Viper, Ultralisk army, but the upgrades are weak because he didn't start them very early. He was playing around with roaches. He got that +1 missile attack. He did not have a double evolution chamber. So the quality of his army is going to be quite weak. A scan reveals the Ultralisk Cavern.
It's a good spot. It's a good spot.
And MorroW just defend, and just wait and build up till you get this 200 army that cannot be stopped.
Yeah, he's even building good walls as well. I mean, right now, these command centers in place, it's going to be hard for Lings and Ultralisks to actually flood forwards and do much about that. So...
Hellion run by on the left.
See if he can get any drones. Anything is alright. I mean, his economy back at home is flourishing and doing okay, so... 2k minerals a minute, mate. Pretty good.
That is a lot. And Ultralisk now on the way. But there's no way he can really attack into this. I mean, even if he has Blinding Cloud, there's Vikings and turrets supporting all of these structures. And there will be planetary fortresses, or at least one, sorry, to be used here.
Quite the change of pace from our previous series.
Yeah, nice and slow game this one. And it is just a puzzle. All it is for MorroW is sit back, defend, build up, upgrade, slowly consume the map of resources. And we have to find a way for Petraeus to break through. It's in StarCraft 2 now, especially with no Swarm Host for Zerg, there is no army that directly just competes with this. You have to win and trade over and over and over that way. But right now it's 200 versus 200, and we need to see one of those trades actually take place, and not a trade that favors MorroW either.
It's a lot of creep tuners pushing forward. Technically, Petraeus' army is pretty strong, but breaking this tank line, jeez, going to be very, very difficult. It's behind such a beautiful wall as well. I mean, how are the Ultralisks and Roaches supposed to get on top of those siege tanks to bring them down?
Don't think they are. Don't think they are. So 4 base has been taken here for MorroW, and Petraeus ideally just wants to keep him away from a 5th, but the 5th is so easy to take. It's going to be this command center just lifted up, moved slightly to the right, and Planetary Fortress, here we go.
All right. So, just keeps on going, slowly leapfrogging forwards. Once that creep encroaches onto his side of the map, he'll start now pushing it back, and then maybe even leapfrog forwards to the gold base. Eventually, it's a while away, one would say, in a map like this, and second Spire going down, so he's starting those air upgrades fast as well.
Yeah, this... I mean, we're going to see a lot of Vikings, a lot of Ravens and Banshees.
And then you really don't break it. You really don't break it.
MorroW has got to defend this. Petraeus may look for it.
May drops the scamp, sees his army poised outside his base. Small walk forwards, but even just that small step forward saw an Ultralisk go down to half health, so... tough stuff. Gonna go in. How much is he going to be able to do? Blinding Clouds across a lot of that, but not that many siege tanks. Still a lot at the back here, able to keep themselves in the game and firing away. And these Ultralisks trying to cleave on down. Good transfuses though, good use of these with the Ultralisks trying to power on forwards, but still he loses a huge portion of his army because trying to break this kind of tank line is not going to happen with just this army. No,
it's not, but he does have 15 Corruptors and hopefully can try to make that work as he goes for the Great Aspire as well. He trades off decently, but he does lose a lot more in supply than MorroW did, who is happily mining across all these bases and adding on more upgrades in production. He's actually just finishing up with 4 more orbital commands. Whoa. It's looking difficult. This is looking really hard.
Yeah. How do you break this? With the Ravens being added on now, the extra weapons upgrades coming in, more factories.
8
for
orbitals are just being built. 8.
Jeez.
In a minute, we'll start seeing the typical SCV sacrifice to increase that army value of mech.
Yeah, why on earth? Why do you have all these SCVs out when you can just mule?
I mean, Petraeus has got a great economy in South. He's expanded all over the map, but he's got to keep trading. There's no way he can allow MorroW to take that gold base easily on the right-hand side. He's got to hope for the mined out game and just trade off efficiently over the course.
Yeah, we could be in here for a while, as now these Corruptors maybe go into a few Broodlords once this Great Aspire finishes up and try and outrange this. But MorroW already kind of has a hunch. I mean, he's got these Thors into their alternate weapon attacks move, where they do bonus damage to these armored in the air.
Okay, so 10 Broodlords.
I always love watching this bit. There we go. There we go. Get up to that 3,200. Beautiful. 3,800. Why not? 4K maybe? Probably not.
Here we go. Here's the siege. There's a lot of Vikings. Just going to pick these off if they get close.
Yeah,
just
20
like
Vikings.
Oh my.
Hunter Seekers as well, zoning out. They can't really continue to pursue on against that. The Vikings just rip up out a few of these Broodlords. And he lost not that many Vikings for that. Not at all. Even the Thors at the front as well, dishing out some of this damage. If they go any more further on, there are 1 or 2 Hunter Seekers here that he has available. And he will throw one down on a Broodlord. Has to separate itself off here from the pack. Will explode, though, as he needs to find more traction here.
Yeah, it's like he needs fungal growth to lock these down so the Corruptors can do something. Because this kiting back into the Thors and turrets is great. And Petraeus hits a brick wall. He's not doing anything here.
No, not at all.
And just look at the resources left over. And, you know, the reverse from the Swarm Host games that we used to see is happening, where it's the Terran just banking up. And, you know, Petraeus is starting to exhaust all his resources, and he's not breaking through.
Our Zergs haven't had the hugest amount of time to try and accommodate to this style without the Swarm Host.
Yeah, I mean, Petraeus had a bit of a funky game, where the Mulists didn't do anything. He only built like 8. He switched over to Roaches very early. They didn't do anything. And then he was caught in 2 minds with what he should do. He was working off 1 evolution chamber, switched to 2, like went over to melee upgrades. He was very far behind in upgrades and just didn't really have a streamlined plan from the get-go. It was just kind of a little bit of adaptation, but MorroW knew exactly what he was going to do from the very get-go and didn't have any hiccups along the way, where Petraeus kind of did.
And the mules continue to mine on everything, as there was that 1 Broodlord laying siege to this location. That's why he tried to evacuate out the mules there, keep them alive. But now, Pathogen Glands is on the way. Ghosts are even being added in, and the SCV sacrifice will come along. But he's pushing on quite aggressively here. Some good Blinding Clouds actually catch around 6 or 7 of those tanks. as he will try and shut that down as much as possible. But the push forwards once again here by all the Ultralisks. Will they be able to break this location? I don't think so. They don't have that many transfuses left on these queens.
And look at those 4s just going, because that's what they do, and they just shot down all of those Ultralisks. And that was easy.
And resources lost is not pretty to look at here for a Zerg player. 10 Swarm hosts. Petraeus is going to bring out the new Swarm host. This is the first time I've actually commentated this.
He's not working. Nothing's working, so he's got to try something.
Yeah.
I guess those don't really go, they go like...
Yeah. They got big cannons, man. Big cannons.
Well, there's a scan for MorroW having a look at the army composition switch. It's perfectly timed, actually. I think he's going to catch the tail end of these Swarm hosts.
Ooh.
Very nice. Tail end.
Barely.
All right, let's have a look at these then.
Let's see what they do.
I don't think a lot, because...
Nope.
Well, you'll just see. They get shot down in the sky before they do anything.
Yeah. Against this kind of army.
All right.
Let's go. Dun, dun, dun,
Watch
dun.
the Thors just rip them out of the sky before they even do anything.
Dun, 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 dun. This is the first time we've seen them in WCS Europe. Oh, they got a Thor. That's fine. They got a Thor. And now it's time to recharge. And go again.
Well, at least he's taking control of this gold on the right side.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. Lots of lings there to just support it. The recharge, meanwhile, continuing on for the Swarm host on the right.
And it takes a long time.
Yep, very long time. Here come the SCVs to fight against the spine crawlers.
All right, Swarm host hype. Now it's time to go inside the main.
Dun 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 dun. They make a really horrible noise. Buzzing. And getting a little bit of damage done here. Just has to lift all the Zobble command zone, he's fine.
It's kind of nice denying the gas there. There's about 400 gas there.
Yeah, it's alright. Any little bit of damage you can get done is fine.
We do have ghosts being made by MorroW to combat the queens.
It's so funny.
More importantly, but he'll automatically counter the infestors too.
I played around with them myself, and then I watched them as they run, and I'm just not used to seeing Swarm hosts run that fast. So it's like the game is on like 1.2 times speed, watching Swarm hosts run around. Whoa, whoa, scans everywhere.
Shows the way, Petraeus, to beat this army.
And, well, the Locust's going to try and do something at the front again, but here comes the mech army now. Powering through the middle, does not want to allow this gold to occur. As what are the Locusts up to? They're on top of this... well, even the Locusts are on, like, hyper speed. Hyper speed.
No, he's got some of the production down inside the main base, which is nice, but it's about defeating this army.
Yeah.
Which is very, very hard to stop at this point.
158 arm supply against 114, and the Swarm hosts, you know, they're on recharge for a long time, and dealing with everything in this army. I mean, even the 7 ghosts alone, if the queens and infestors get anywhere near, they're gonna have their energy ripped off them.
Yeah. All right, so he scans. He's scanning everywhere because he's got so many orbitals and got so much money to throw away for scans.
We're gonna have the Locust. We are.
All right, maybe the infested Terrans as well. Bit of everything.
Trying to make this work.
Slowly.
Coming in from those Zerglings at the top side here as well, but everything's just evaporating before it really gets anywhere. The Locusts actually land, but EMPs land across the board on all of these queens, and that was not the best of trades here for Petraeus.
No, and what does he build next?
I don't know.
What does he build? What stops this?
I have no clue.
What unit can defeat this army?
A lot of Ultralisks? Not even that, I don't know. This is tough, very, very tough.
Yeah, and he's definitely feeling it right now.
MorroW can happily just play like this every game in, game out.
Yeah, I think Petraeus will play a lot more. I mean, once you know your opponents play mech every time, it's a lot easier to blind counter and get an edge with the builds and advantage that way. But in this game, there just wasn't that. He wasn't too sure what to expect.
Yeah, not so much. Upgrades, meanwhile, 3 from pretty much everything once this armor completes up for the Flyers.
Oh, dear.
Oh, 23?
No, that's not enough.
No.
He's going to die to the Vikings of Thors!
Did he even... Oh, okay, he has the lava. He's just kind of going to end up maxing out a little bit quicker than he wants to. He probably...
29.
Yeah, maybe even sacrifice the Swarm host and just try and go for extra Mutalisks, but, I mean, it's a last-ditch effort, basically.
Yeah, if he can somehow do some damage towards these stores with the Swarm Host, that's nice.
Here we go again.
But MorroW still has so much money.
Well, yeah, the Army's going to come back and clean that up and be fine. And you're right, he has tons of money. He has even still the production facilities, despite a bit of them being ripped apart there by the Locust in the main base. Still so much, so much. And now, just a few spine crawlers here for Petraeus to keep him held on whilst the Mutalisks try and do something. I guess he's just going to go for the base race.
Yeah, he's going to try and wear his opponent down and make him spend this money. And then hopefully, with the resources he's still mining, can build enough to defeat what is left over of the Terran army. But this is nice, I suppose. Working well.
Oh, 2 free Ravens. And they have to dart on out of here. Those Vikings will continue to pursue on. They actually do quite a bit of damage to those Mutalisks.
Yeah, once they're upgraded like this.
Yeah.
3-3.
Powerful stuff. They can't stick around. They cannot stick around.
Swarm Host coming in again for another launch of Locusts.
It's funny how this works out. If he manages to win this game, then yes, we go back to Swarm Host Mutalisk once again against Mech, but in a very different capacity.
Yeah. And Infested Terrans doing a lot in the middle here. 15 SCVs got it down. MorroW's still got a lot of money in the bank, but Petraeus slowly wearing him down, but it's not going to be easy to break inside that main base.
No. Just missile turrets, Thors everywhere, making it harder and harder and harder.
This push is happening now.
Yeah, just go. Bring some command centers with you, take this gold base, slowly leapfrog forwards. Do what you can. Bit of AoE damage, but magic boxing over those Thors, killing off a few of them. We'll bring
he's
down
losing a lot there.
Yeah. And the push up towards the top does not stop. And backs off. Never mind.
Still some Locusts around, and you know, MorroW's lost about 50% of his money that he had earlier on, down to 2,000, 4,000. I know, I guess he just cancelled a bunch of stuff. Yeah, must have had it queued up. He's shot up to double the money instantly. Wait, what?
The kind of attacking on every angle, I don't think it's doing too badly here for Petraeus, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's doing well with what he's got. He's switched over to Ultralisks again, and seeing what he can do with that. He's doing okay. He's mining across the map. This gold base, I don't think MorroW even knows is being mined from, which is helping out quite a bit down this right-hand side.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he's probably just anticipating the creeper being over there.
Ultralisks. Imagine if he's able to do this with these multiple tech switches. Be very nice from Petraeus.
Yeah, very sick. It's again, you know, in terms of solving this puzzle, a lot of people have had problems with it, but if it just takes tech switch after tech switch after tech switch,
yeah, I think it's the right way to do it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's done well. MorroW is really not mining too much at all at the moment. Takes down more command centers.
No, he's not really mining anything, so his money is being spent slowly.
Still has a few orbitals that he can drop some mules on this gold base and try and mine it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, if he can get a really good position with Swarm Host starting the fight and then Ultralisk coming in against all these unsieged units, then yeah, this can work.
Yeah, it could be great. How many Ravens do we have? Not even that many. 8. I mean, how much energy do they have?
Yeah, the use of Swarm Host has been pretty good.
Yeah.
God, again, yeah, really nice use.
They keep coming in. He's doing a really good job of tracking wherever MorroW's army's going. So dives in with the Swarm Host, runs away.
Whoop! Tank down.
All right. How many Mutalisks does he have left? 18. Which are constantly being shot at from every angle.
The Ultras haven't been spotted yet.
Where are they?
Well, here we go. MorroW's pushing forwards. Ultras have been spotted now, but this air is still going to be hard to deal with. There's a lot of Vikings and Ravens.
Yeah.
And there's no really anti-air. There's no Queens, really. Corruptors.
I mean, even auto turrets are actually pretty good against Ultralisks to stop them from moving forwards if you do go into engagement. And Thors with 3/3 weapons. It's going to be a sad time for these Ultralisks if they go too far. The Locusts aren't coming in at exactly the right time here to couple up with the Ultralisks. And there's not that many Ultras left, actually. 6 still powering forwards. And the cleave ability here, where he's able to take down everything with those Locusts as well.
Look at that, with 9 Ultralisks and 10 Lings in production, he throws MorroW's supply down. And Petraeus.
It's not that easy to remax from here as the Terran in comparison to the Zerg, who's just gone for tech switch after tech switch.
He just spent all his money. He's got no units that shoot up, which is a bit of a problem, I suppose, versus the Ravens, but not if he cleans up every single structure around. And Petraeus, a wonderful game. We've been seeing these tech switches around, and as difficult as everyone's been saying this is, he's playing a fantastic game.
Yeah, really good start here to the series. For him especially. MorroW, obviously, you know, he sat around on his mech. He's usually going to go for that mech and try and make that work. And, well, did for a while, but now, look at what Petraeus is bringing out.
Yeah, he's going to go again in a second. Really cool. He's got a couple of queens. Swarmhost still around to add in that extra damage that the Locust gave in that fight too.
It's funny, I really think more auto turrets could have helped out that a little bit there, but obviously, if you see that go down, as Petraeus, you just back off. And
Petraeus still mining, MorroW hardly. He's got mules on this left-hand side, but that's about it, and he's running out of money. He spent the rest of it to recover some of the forces, and now as a semi-decently sized army.
Fully enough, very, very similar in size because of the worker difference.
But there's a lot of Vikings here that just aren't going to be useful.
Yeah, yeah.
Here we go again.
I mean, gun down some of the Locusts, but not enough before they actually land and do a bit of damage themselves. And we'll try and fly on him, even the ones landing there. There's some auto turrets as the wall here for MorroW to try and stop that from moving forwards.
Yeah, but he just backs off and then we'll go again very shortly. And he's still got quite a money in the bank, so Petraeus can fight, lose his units, and still build quite a lot of something again, depending on what's left over from the Terran.
Yeah. All right, so MorroW, for now, still stuck on his army here in the mid, and even sees his space being taken. That's sad bears here for MorroW, and as he does see that, really wants to be trying to take that himself. Oh, and he sees a lot of Ultralisks to the right-hand side, so has to be careful about his movements out here.
Yeah.
You know what? Swarm hosts have done pretty well, to be fair. Darting around here and there, and doing some damage wherever they can find it.
Well, look at this. Petraeus getting ready to set up a flank from multiple sides. And he's got Ultralisks all around. It's almost going to launch from this high ground.
Yeah. So, and at the moment, he has no idea about this huge concave that is being set up here. Ultralisk, everybody going to come in. As he does bring in those Locusts as well. They can dive onto one of the Thors in the mineral line and will kill that off very, very fast. Unit-wise, I'm not quite sure how much is underneath this, but how many... Well, he doesn't have that many Ultralisks left, to be honest with you.
No,
He's able to bring those down.
The auto turret's been a right nuisance, allowing these Thors and tanks to shoot from behind them, and MorroW's able to defend this. And now Petraeus has to use his bank, but what does he build? He's got to choose. Ultralisks again, Ultraling again.
Ah, they take a long time to build to those Ultralisks, though.
Ultraling is okay because there's really not that much to deal with Lings. I know that Lings are not the best against mech, but you know, 64 Lings wrapping around tanks and Thors is pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Unless, of course, there are a ton of autos, but the energy from the Ravens has pretty much been depleted. So if you can hit in that window where there aren't that many auto turrets, maybe it can work. All
right, he's going to go in a second. We've got another wave of Locusts ready to go from these swarm hosts.
And they are going to dive onto this base, deny some of this mining time. Hellbat's even coming in at the back here for MorroW.
Yeah, nice, getting a couple of those tanks, and in a minute Petraeus is going to go. He's waiting for these Ultralisks to pop. They're almost ready, and this turned in from quite a stalemate game into a really exciting one towards the end. And here we go. The Infestors are coming in too.
And the Swarmers are kind of trapped here. They have to dart
there's quite a few Hellbats here. It's got to be a little bit careful with these Lings. And where the Swarmers going?
Yeah, they were very, very trapped. So, unfortunately for them, they're going to have to find a route out of this labyrinth that has been created. Raise the wall! Oh, perfect. Love it.
And now they're all going to be killed eventually. It took a long time to get rid of these.
Yeah. Goes for some more Locusts, just for the good measure.
Yeah, it brings down 4, 5, 6 Hellbats before they all go down, but they will be picked off. But he gets rid of the command center in the middle of the map. Petraeus still got a bit of a bank left. 5 additional Queens going to be added on.
I don't know if... I mean, with the amount of Hellbats that are here now, I don't know if this is going to work, Sean. And also the fact that the Ravens have banked up good energy as well. There's not that much of a bank left here for Petraeus, although his army supply will be pretty strong. I wonder if he can get a good wraparound. He's going to go for a counterattack with Lings.
Oh, this is nice, yeah.
Yeah, just shut down whatever you can here. They do have Adrenal Glands, so why on earth not? But can he take this engagement again? If auto turrets rain down and stop the Ultralisks from getting on position.
Yeah. The auto turrets are such a nuisance.
If he sees all of these Hellbats back, maybe that's his cue to go.
Yeah, potentially. Still got quite a few links. He's waiting for more Queens and Morts. He's got to wait till he's maxed out and then go, but he's starting to run out of resources himself. There's not too much left on the map. This middle base is what's left to fight for. Whoever controls this is going to have money for the next good amount of time left in this game. And at the moment, it's MorroW that controls it. Even though Petraeus is at 200 supply, he's going to move in with Spines at first.
All right. Slowly routes those on forwards. Auto turret wall goes down here for the Terran. The fungals on some of those mules was good by Petraeus to make sure he's not going to get the most out of this gold base.
Yeah, Petraeus has absolutely everything now with him.
148 army supply against 129. Can it break this position? Those auto turrets, again, are going to be irritating.
From the right-hand side with Lily's links, or from the back, should I say, but that's where all the Hellbats are.
Infested Terran's going to soak up some of this damage. There goes some blinding clouds on top of some of the siege tanks that are sieged up. The Ultralisk wall now gouges into this army with the extra little kind of wall here from this command center, really slowing this down, but MorroW is plummeting in supply, and the Ultralisks are not dying off, Sean.
And they're running out of transfuses now, but there's still quite a few Ultralisks. There's like 8 of them left.
It's going to be enough. It's going to be able to break this location and push MorroW all the way down to a very, very low supply.
And that's going to be it. That's going to be game. Petraeus has done it. He's broken through the rest of the army, and he's going to take control of the center gold base. And that is the only, pretty much, the last base remaining of resources.
Yeah, nothing really left here at all. The Ravens fly on forwards, but he has nothing at all to be able to deal with anything that will come along here from Petraeus. That being said, I mean, Petraeus doesn't have that much ground force left, but, you know.
Petraeus, what a beast. What an excellent game from him. Very, very impressive. As MorroW calls GG, he hasn't actually left the game yet, but he played excellent. He's having a look around with scans. He's like, oh, okay, that base, yeah, I should have probably taken that out a long time ago. That's mined out too, whatever. GG!
Wow.
Really cool game from Petraeus.
Yeah, good game there from him, able to solve the puzzle, basically. It was a lot of tech switches, a lot of craziness. Of course, that Mutalisk at the beginning, you know, it was a bit strange, and then obviously tons of them died off, so they didn't really gain any traction there. But going on further with tech switch after tech switch after tech switch, eventually broke him. Really,
really nice game playing out there from Petraeus. It looked really difficult in the mid game. I didn't really know what to expect from him. I thought it was going to be really difficult, but he turned the late game really awesome. The key thing to success was his high amount of income and resources he kept on bringing in to be able to make these moves possible, but that was really cool to see.
All right, so now we just wait for game number 2 here between the two of them, as it is going to be on Echo to figure out who is going to be moving on. And right now, with Petraeus kind of making that statement there, this is a smaller map in terms of the distances between one another, so maybe, you know, MorroW can go for some mech play again, but does Petraeus have the answer now?
Yeah, that was really nice. I think Petraeus now is going to be a little bit more aware of what MorroW's bringing to Challenger today, and it's going to be mech to hopefully see him through to playing Premier League. But I don't know. Hopefully Petraeus plays as well as he just did, because that just should guarantee himself position in Premier.
Yeah, seems so. Seems so. It's gonna be interesting. I mean, I don't think, even after validating that he can have the answers, I don't even think he needs to go too aggressive himself. I mean, he could mix it in, of course, against a meching player and try and hit timings before he really gathers speed.
Yeah.
But he's really kind of given himself a good peace of mind there, saying, well, yeah, I mean, I actually can break this pretty well if I'm able to get all those tech switches in and out.
Yeah, I just think that was such a cool game, because it looked like MorroW just controlling, consuming the map, and then Petraeus was just left about what to do. But he really knocked it up a couple of notches, turned it into a really fun and entertaining game, and just played excellent. I'm really happy about how well that went down, and looking forward to the next couple of games from him.
Yeah, all right, let's get into it then. It's going to be game number 2. Echo is loading up and getting good to go. And yeah, Petraeus, our challenger, going up against our Premier player, could quite easily cause him to go forwards into Premier there after seeing that first game. Maybe some deviations here and there.
Yeah.
MorroW, this is going to be tough against the quality of player that Petraeus is.
He is. He's really good. Like I said before, I'm expecting him to do very well this season and probably advance to Premier in further than just a round.
All right, let's get into it then, as we have spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner. It is our blue Zerg. It is My Insanity's Petraeus. And up to the top left-hand corner, we have our red Terran representing Team Property. It is MorroW.
All right, so here we are, map number 2. What has Petraeus got up his sleeves this time? what is MorroW going to do? Is he just going to go straight to mech? Because if he does, I think Petraeus is going to be ready for that and starting to dictate the pace of the game a little bit more. There's a bit of a warm-up the first couple of minutes of that one for Petraeus.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, there's a good opportunity here to just shut him down straight. As Petraeus looked very, very strong in that game. Very strong indeed. Was really impressed by the caliber of play that he's able to bring out there. And now, on a map like this, smaller map, easier to get over there. Maybe put on some pressure if you know your opponent's going mech. Maybe you could do something like that.
All right, so I think MorroW's definitely going to be stunned by that one a little bit, but he's going to open up the same build order. He's going to go command center first again. Petraeus is going spawning pool first. Interesting. He can actually get the 6 Zerglings out very fast, could challenge his command center. Depending on if there's a wall or not, could run inside and start to kill SCV. So this is going to be an interesting little aggressive start to this.
Yeah, and the Overlord actually gets over there pretty quick as well to see this, whilst it darts on over to find out what is going on. I say darts, it's not exactly the fastest of units, guys, so it is slowly meandering over there. So, Right, gas after barracks, with hatchery on the way here for Petraeus. So, standard go-tos. Only the 2 Zerglings start up, actually.
Yeah, just getting out the Queen first of all here. But he's going to go over and see this as a command center first, and his build doesn't shape up too well against it. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not ideal. He actually even cancels his gas, saying, oh gosh, okay, we're going down this way, are we? Those 2 Zerglings won't really be able to do anything. A single SCV Marine together is good enough to take these guys down. And the barracks is almost complete, so that's going to happen. No way to stop that command center, and no additional links being made either. So Petraeus just kind of opened up really safe against any 2 racks, any fast Reaper plays. Not the case.
Safe and slow.
So he doesn't have the best economy at the start of this one, but 2 Ling's going to poke up. He's going to have to pull the SCV back for a second. Otherwise, he will lose it.
Oh, and he is going to lose that very, very quickly there. Yeah. So
MorroW doesn't know how many more Zerglings are coming, so he's actually taking this a little bit slow. Going to bring 2 SCVs. Now going to take them down. He's going to have to cancel the bunker as well, so...
I mean, it's
at
okay.
least something from those 2 Lings. They didn't die either, so...
Yeah. So... For now, even just spreading out the creep at the front here is Petraeus. Very early creep tumor, making sure that he can extend that forwards. No doubt to be able to claim his 3rd eventually. Yeah,
really nice and early creep tumor. Double gases at quite a standard time here on the natural for Petraeus. Start to bring in that gas, either get Zergling speed really early on, could go for a lair. Zergling speed, obviously, the more common of the 2. And yeah, nice and early creep spread. Going to be really helpful against those Hellions that we're expecting to see very shortly.
An extra command center on the way for MorroW, so... Another greedy opener here for MorroW. Full greed. The only thing that is missing from the greed is straight to upgrades and skipping on a ton of production potentially in the start of all of this. But Petraeus probably well aware there is the potential for that greed. Roach Warren goes down and
really early too.
Yeah.
Really early.
Lair on the way behind this.
Yeah, no Zergling speed, just straight Roach Warren, straight lair.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to have some early roaches in this one. Much with his Overlord yet, he's just chosen to do this anyway.
That's a good wall off.
I mean, he can build a couple of roaches and then take a 3rd base from this. He can also start to build up a high roach count when roach speed's done too. So interestingly, just kind of playing different, but I do like the way that he's taking this approach. A handful of roaches pushes back the majority of Hellions. Creep spread's looking good enough to get over towards that 3rd base too. And a very early carapace upgrade. So with a carapace upgrade starting so soon, I think we could be looking at a bust coming out from Petraeus across these 3 bases. Complete roach flood. The layers fast enough to get that roach speed really early on.
Yeah, it's very, very strong against just Marines alone if he's only got a few scattered around here and there. As Hellion did poke forwards towards that 3rd. Get the confirmation of it. And where is our first Banshee? It's not popped out just yet. Oh, wait, did he go away from Banshee?
No, he hasn't built a single Banshee.
Wow.
Just straight Viking here. A Viking, then Banshee, perhaps.
Yeah.
But either way, we are going to be seeing mech coming out from MorroW. He's about to put down his factories. But Petraeus looking to bust this one right open.
Yeah, opening up the taps here with some extra overlords in production. And then from that point on, he could have himself plenty of roaches out and about.
Yeah, looking to combine this attack with the 2 upgrades, completing roach speed and carapace, and looking to overwhelm his opponent before the ball gets rolling. And Overseer goes in, sees that there's no Banshee production, sees that there's a 3rd command center down, and sees that his opponent is going to be vulnerable to this type of attack. So the Roach Flood's going to continue, and Petraeus plans his 2-0.
Yeah, this is perfect for him at the moment. Obviously, if there was a Banshee production, it's good against the Roaches. It doesn't kill them off super fast, but he hasn't really been able to see many of the Roaches at all here as MorroW, so he could be completely blindsided by this if he's not careful.
Yeah, a few extra drones.
Nidus
Worm put down here as well. I don't know where that's going to go exactly. Maybe just outside the 2nd and 3rd base, just to get the reinforcements there immediately.
Yeah. All right, then. All right, here we go. That is a lot of roaches that he's already has. 14 out. That being said, though, he would love to trade off against some of these units to start things. Realizes Widow Mines are there. Just takes 1 loss, but he's already going to go into this. 2 Thors are on the way. He needs that firepower. He needs to be able to shut this down as quickly as possible, otherwise more roaches will filter through.
Absolutely. With the Nidus Worm finishing up, he's going to be building a lot more.
And they're going to continue on here. 8 more roaches in production. That being said, you know, if these Hellbat numbers get thinned as well, and he's only got 2 Thors, that's usually not enough to deal with a swell of roaches. And there goes the Nidus Worm.
Yeah, this is a complete bust through MorroW's greedy opening. 3 command centers, late factory. There's not too much here that he can do at the moment. He's got to try and save this location, but with a lot more roaches about to pop out, Petraeus just going to sacrifice these roaches and just do as much damage as he can as he gets ready to continue this attack.
He needs to buy time for those siege tanks to get out. Maybe they can actually buy him, maybe these Thors can continue to buy him enough time here to get those out and then have a fortified position, but the Queens and Roaches are not going to stop.
Yeah, they're not, and there is this annoying couple of Widow Mines that keep on doing damage. Big supply bot there from Petraeus, not being able to build as many units as he would like, but with tanks popping out now, this becomes increasingly easier for MorroW to defend.
Yeah. Roaches are going to try and poke up. Sees those tanks at the back, and now he has to pull back a little bit himself. Even picks up some of the Hellbats, and he's going to go straight across the map.
Yeah, so Petraeus has got to start thinking about what to do next. The infestation pits come down. These Hellbats are going to be a nuisance because he's going to be droning behind this and a little bit weak.
Good defense by MorroW.
Yeah, good defense. I think Petraeus wasn't the deadliest with this either. I definitely think he could have been a little bit more deadly. More roaches faster, supply blocked a little bit often. Yeah. And here MorroW's like, oh, this is so good. 3rd base, no drones. Excellent.
Yeah,
and
really
MorroW survives.
His 3rd base is currently lifted and isn't doing too much, but he starts his own 4th command center, drops the scan at the front, sees this army still, well, scraps of an army still outside of his base, but it's really not that much at the moment.
Yeah, this is looking much better for MorroW. He's got his 3rd command center he can go take. He's got a 4th one on the way. And Petraeus, that was a cool attempt, but it didn't work.
Yeah, going to lose a few more SCVs there for some roaches, but just wants to clean that up fast and get it going. Even these drones have to be evacuated out from these Hellbats, and gets a nice clump there. 7 drones going down in total. It's going to push him away in the mid. So Petraeus basically goes back to plan A from the previous game, but yeah, it's so slow.
Yeah, I mean, that type of attack, he sacrifices a lot of economy to speed the attack up there, and it did hit at a very early time, but unfortunately wasn't powerful enough to knock MorroW off his bike there, and he continues riding forwards. And he's got a very good setup now. 3 bases, 5 command centers, a decent army in the middle, and Petraeus is in middle of going somewhere with his tech trees. He's got a hive on its way, almost completed, Spire down 2. Does he try to go Mutalisks here?
I mean, very little is going to stop him. MorroW, very little is going to stop MorroW doing anything he wants at this point. Obviously, we know his direction. We know where he wants to go. As Petraeus will fend off these Hellions in the mid, but they did get themselves a creep tumor at least. If he gets confirmation of that 4th down towards it, maybe he could even force a cancel with extra units. Not with just the Hellions, though. Oh, going to try.
Vipers it's going to be. And this base is going to go down.
Yeah. Nothing that he has really to deny it. Just these few roaches. And there you go, the cancellation.
And transformation back to Hellions, and off they go.
Good to save the drone, though. Very good.
All right, so Petraeus now it's going to retake this, get that creep spread going. It's pretty good actually in the middle of the map. Upgrades are not fantastic, but I suppose neither are MorroW's at the moment, only at +1 attack himself.
Getting that extra armory on the way now, so you can catch up in terms of the armor upgrades.
Good. 4th base taken, planetary gonna it's not going to be denied. 5th base going to be taken shortly.
And Hellions moving on to the right-hand side to try and threaten the 3rd base. And if he does, if he darts in there, we'll see the fact that there are quite a few Vipers already out and about.
It's looking at this fight that's going to happen very shortly as Vipers get ready to build up that energy, but these tanks are spread very nicely. And Petraeus going to be aiming towards this Ultralisk type of army soon. He's got his upgrades lining up 2-2. Surely Ultralisk Cavern's going to follow down soon, but he does have an attack in him before Ultralisks, I would imagine. As MorroW's building up once again to a very strong late game, and we're going to have another long one.
Yeah, as you know, Petraeus, he saw how it was able to work in the previous game with the Ultralisk kind of style, and obviously he will have quite a few blinding clouds from these 4 Vipers that he has when he actually wants to go into the engagement. But MorroW's spread across this whole area is really beautiful, actually. Very, very well separated up. Even just one blinding cloud alone is only ever going to get 1 siege tank. So, yeah. Tough stuff.
Flying Locust upgrades being researched for these swarm hosts. And MorroW, sits back as a scan. Doesn't see too much with that, actually.
But he's got plenty of orbital command centers on the way, so eventually we'll have even more scans, and he'll just scan everywhere and see everything anyway.
And we're going to have a very similar to the previous game here. So MorroW's got to be very careful about what started to rip him apart was the run-bys and also these locusts just running around, the swarm hosts running around and around and around. And you can't allow that to happen. Yeah,
they're very fast. It's actually difficult for the mech army to ever really catch those swarm hosts unless they get cordoned off like they did in that first game.
Cordoned off or Hellions is good enough to stop them too. Just got to chase them down.
Yeah. Speedy little guys. And block on all of these bases now as well for Petraeus, just to make sure his opponent can't quite easily go past 4 bases.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going to be. This is pretty much going to be the main focal point. This base up here, I suspect, as Terran will really want to take that, but Zerg will try and deny.
All right, so the starport's now been added on here for MorroW. Going to try and build up towards that air armies we saw in the previous one. And again, a clash of these two, as eventually MorroW's going to have to move out from this low ground area to start to take a new base. And that's when Petraeus is going to start to get a little bit more active, looking for a way to make what he has left around useful. He's starting to bank up a lot of money as well. Remember, MorroW's not yet started to bank. He's just about to max out, so the banking will begin shortly.
Breaks down these rocks, so he has another path through. There's all these queens at the front. They've technically banked a lot of energy as well, so...
all right, Locust time to the natural.
Alrighty. Let's go. Get themselves a few kills, a few SCV kills to nice some mining time. Any little bit of damage that they can do is fine.
Yep. And they launch up to the north, and the swarm hosts run down south here very fast, and the scan sees their movement. There's 3 tanks in the planetary fortress up here, though.
They evolved little running shoes, apparently. Jeez, they do move fast.
Yep. And a scan and move forward here for MorroW. He's going to start to clear up the creep up here and get ready to take this new expansion for his own. And swarm host ready again down south.
And the whole army is down here. He could actually launch a bit of an assault towards this, knowing that his opponent's army is way out of position.
Yeah, blinding clouds come in to nullify the 3 tanks and the planetary fortress.
Very well done there. So he can actually do a lot of damage, and this is pretty much the most important mining base here for MorroW. You've got me doing it now.
Sorry. But here comes the rest of the army to come clear this up. The planetary fortress isn't going to go down, or is it? It's very close. SCVs are repairing.
Yeah, Ultralisks, so you're going to sacrifice yourselves for the greater good? For the greater good! There you get the planetary fortress, but there's plenty more orbital commands where that came from.
3 Ultralisks, yep, do get their Body's blown to pieces.
Whoa, 3 T-Shanks got a base up to the top. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, Ling's popping out. Going to hopefully deal with that. But that's nice because MorroW has Petraeus has a lot of money, but he's got to keep MorroW down. But he instantly starts to just pick up another command center and start mining there anyway. So as good as it was to bring that down, it's mining again instantly.
And the push on here from MorroW to try and kill off this base and maybe even go a little bit further. I mean, I doubt he will. He can just get this and then back off and not really fight against his opponent because there will be Ultralisks out once again.
Nice. Very difficult push here coming out. There's still a lot of Queens left over, trying to replenish the Ultralisks. Also, Great Aspire on the way. It's almost doing a bit of damage up here again at this 12 o'clock base in the middle of the map.
Yeah, just going to back off.
Planetary's going to burn down there. It's kind of cool.
That's all right. Dun, dun, dun.
Nope.
Oh,
saved by the bell.
Saved. All right, so MorroW once again just dancing around.
Yeah.
Has to run away from the Swarmhost. Going to have to make a dart for it.
A lot of Queens. 14 Queens.
That is a lot of Queens. Good upgrades coming out as well for him.
Yep.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2.
MorroW's money not high though, because he took out that base and is denying that center base. His money's not so high, which is good. Good for Petraeus. And Petraeus has to fight again. You've got to keep this Terran money low. Got to keep him from doing it. And this base is very, very vulnerable to the left-hand side. It's just an orbital. There's no army there. All the army's north trying to secure this.
Yeah. I mean, of course he has a few more orbitals again that he can swing down there with, but it's losing all of those time and time again and having your income slowed down and then having to dance between these two locations is an irritation here for the Terran.
Just a handful of units going to force that base to be picked up and evacuated, but MorroW's Thor army on this right-hand side. A lot of Queens, not so many Ultralisks though. There's only 5, but I suppose if you transfuse forever, these guys will live forever and deal as much damage as possible.
Yeah, how much does he have? So 5 Ultras, you're saying?
Yeah, not too much. 14 Queens. Swarm hosts as well to come in for the fight, which are lurking on the right-hand side.
And the army of MorroW in the air does spot this moving around. Also, a ton of scans.
Vipers. Oh.
Don't sacrifice the Vipers.
2 down, full energy 2.
Ouch.
Locusts go in, take down a single Thor. And a second one, take down 2 Thors.
Not too bad. Here come the blinding clouds. He might actually go in for this. And how far will he go?
Queens are attacking the Vikings, not really close enough to transfuse. And here goes 2 Ultralisks. 2 Ultralisks alone!
We're going to live forever! One of them isn't, though. It's going to try and transfuse it as much as possible. But oh my good god, that was a lot of damage coming out from the Terran.
Yeah, that Ultralisk wanted to live forever, but no.
Nope, not at all. That was a lot of spam transfuses, and now MorroW is still on the warpath.
Still a lot of money in the bank for Petraeus. He's been denying these bases excellently.
Yeah.
He's got Lings on the left-hand side, which had denied that for a little bit. He's still got this being denied. But MorroW's trying to mine. He's got no money left over, and he needs the extra money. But we have 14 Corruptors coming in. We do have the Great Aspire completed. Oh, nice run around to this left-hand side again. Getting rid of that base again.
They can just keep doing it as well.
Yeah, while continuing to expand around the map like a true Zerg.
How is this army ever supposed to dance between this location and this location quickly enough?
Yeah, that's what Petraeus is doing very, very well.
Yeah, very difficult to counter. Petraeus taking the bottom left-hand base, and then it could even go for the top right again. Of course, it was denied before, and his opponent's launch position from there would be very, very close, but good movement by these Lings.
Yeah, he just decides to get Borrow 2, probably to start borrowing these Lings underneath these expansions.
Force even more scans, why on earth not?
Yeah.
And here come the Locust. All right, how much are you going to get done here? The Ultralisks have a bit of transfuse energy behind them again. Locust kind of bottling them up a bit, but the Locusts do quite a bit of damage themselves. Resources lost at the moment, very much so in favor of Petraeus, and he has quite the bank still.
Broodlord's getting morphed, but there's still a lot of Vikings here.
Yeah. How many in total? 13. One Queen, poor thing.
Uh-oh, he sees the Broodlords.
Oh, they morphed in just the wrong place.
Yeah. Chasing down 3 Thors down south. Don't know what these guys were doing. Oh, they popped out, killing that hatchery. I'm going to get caught.
Oh, well. I'm not sure that MorroW can afford those kinds of trades. What do you think?
The 3 Thors, no.
That's a big investment to kill off a hatchery that's only 300 minerals, and the other ones are mining anyway, so he still has income.
Yeah, he's trying to play the same game Petraeus is, but he simply doesn't have the same money Petraeus does to play that game.
Doesn't have the same units either.
No.
They're not as efficient about these things, as the Locust will fly in again to try and do something, and they get themselves another Thor.
Yeah, these swarmers are working well. Just pocket kills every here and there. 1 or 2 units here and there, wait for the recharge, then 1 or 2 more kills.
Yeah.
And this army in the middle of the map, not that big for MorroW.
Not at all. He has to evacuate out and do something else. That being said, you know, 2 more Thors over the right-hand side, got another hatchery. So good job by them. They could eventually be killed off, but Petraeus just has to get out these 4 extra Ultralisks and then go for a killing blow on this middle army.
Yeah, he does. So he's trying to defend this base, but he's not quite ready with these Ultralisks yet to do that.
Oh, the pull forwards. Another one as well. How many Thors are even left in this game? 8 in total.
Oh, Corruptor's killing the skies.
Oh dear. And then when they are gone, what's he going to do about the Broodlords?
He's trying to defend this location with the Ultralisk. He's got enough energy on these Queens, so hopefully that 1 Ultralisk to do the job.
Evacuates out the drones from those 2 Hellbats that were trying to mince up everything that was there, but...
Hero Ultralisk.
Doing really, really well. He's cleaning up everything.
Yeah, if only you could see these ghosts, but they're about to run out of energy soon, but that Ultralisk was awesome, and MorroW down to 106 supply, and Petraeus playing a series of his life here in Challenger.
And I don't know what MorroW's going to do to gain any traction. I mean, not only in this game, but also the series. If he just keeps going with mech, Petraeus has the answers.
Well, the thing is MorroW has clearly practiced to play mech to beat Petraeus. And I don't think we'll see a switch. He's clearly thought this would be good enough to win, especially because look at Game #1, it almost did give him the win.
Yeah.
But now, it's... his strategy's not working against Petraeus. Petraeus is good enough to stop this. 11 Broodlords. There are 2 Vikings. The Broodlords are going to be it.
Yeah, this is just not enough. Not enough to deal with this huge army that Petraeus is going to have at this point. And, I mean, rightfully so. He's played it so well.
Yeah, this is like some of the most refreshing StarCraft I've seen in a while. I haven't seen games like this ever. And it's very cool to see some new StarCraft here. And Petraeus is playing wonderfully. He's playing really, really, really well. And I knew he'd play well today, and he's definitely my favorite to do super well this season.
He's doing all right.
He's got to close this one up. MorroW's definitely up against it. He's rebuilt to 140 supply, but these Broodlords are about to slowly fly this way, and there's not much to stop them.
Yeah, just in a northern direction. This is the way they generally migrate anyway. So may as well go up here and kill some stuff off. That being said, some Hunter Seekers can land on a few of these Broodlords and do a lot of damage to them, but I don't even think it's enough.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Complete annihilation here. Absolute awesomeness coming out from NYI Petraeus.
MorroW has no answers to deal with this. A few Hellbats, Hellions even down to the left-hand side, killing off some of these drones, but it's not enough. If he doesn't have an army to back up that statement to the bottom left-hand corner, what is he going to do? Yeah,
Petraeus has got to be careful because he's not mining himself either. And right now, MorroW has established this 9 o'clock base again, and is starting to mine from it, which a couple of Lings stops that over here. And he is bringing himself in money to continue to rebuild and add on Vikings. And right now, Petraeus needs an expansion, but he doesn't have that much money. He's building 3 Ultralisks, looking to finish this off.
He still has 6 Queens with him that are under here. They don't have that much energy for transfuses. Really wants to gain some on that. But the Locusts can come in again against this very immobile army. They're gonna this army has to run away. There is no 2 ways about it. Otherwise, it will die.
No, he's going to try and take the fight here against these Locusts. They're going to get really close to these Thors and take them down almost instantly. And Queens to support these Vikings. MorroW drops even further down the supply, but the most important part is that base to the left-hand side is unlocked, and that is the only really mining base for MorroW, and it has to be evacuated. And as much as Petraeus wasn't really mining a couple of seconds ago, neither is MorroW now after that base and that location being secured.
Yeah, very, very well done here by Petraeus. Really bringing it to MorroW. As for now, extra orbital commands or anything. MorroW trying to... He now has to do this weird system of moving from left to right with his bases. Wherever the Zerg is not, I will try and secure for now. But even this creep spread here from Petraeus, really thinking things through and denying it.
His use of Swarmos has been good. He's just got about 8 of them, and they're just running around, launching left and right and doing whatever damage they can.
47,000 resources against 35,000 lost here. And these Halberts doing something, doing well, but difficult to combat this army. 105 army supply against it.
Yeah, MorroW currently has 300 mineral income from I don't know where. Okay, that's just dropped down to none.
Oh.
So he's got 0 mineral income.
A lot of SCVs over here.
Yeah.
And not really doing
He's
too
got
much at all.
no mineral income at all.
Helion's going to try and run around and do some more damage to these bases that are mining. Realizes this one isn't even mining, but there's too much. There's too much. The 12 swarm hosts have gone unanswered for all game long. And how do you catch these guys?
The last couple of units are being cleared up here, and with no mineral income, there's almost nothing here that MorroW can do. He's lost even more units. He has 6 Halberts and 8 Vikings and 6 Hellions to combat against 12 Swarmos and 4 Ultralisks with still Queen support. He scans, he sees the army, he knows he's in a lot of trouble. He's even pulled SCVs here. I think, is he going to try and secure this base up to the north? That's the only way back into the game.
Yeah.
Is to hold this position up north and start mining again. But Petraeus knows this is the only way back into the game for MorroW. So in a second, he's going to plan one final attack to knock him off his stool again. And if he can keep him away from mining up here, then that's it. There's just, again, no income.
Yep, he's just going to go straight for the mineral lines here. Do any damage he can. Land and try and kill off even just a few of the Hellbats. Also, the Hellion run-by was cleaned up.
Oh, 44 supply remaining. That is it. GG. Petraeus takes a 2-0 in awesomeness against Mech here. Really displaying how to play against it. And then if anyone had any trouble, you just watch this guy.
Yeah, just watch him pretty much constrict MorroW wherever he ends up going. I think one thing that really lends itself very well to the style that Petraeus is doing is he has phenomenal creep spread in these games.
Yeah.
Really powerful creep spread, and then he just gains control of the entire map. He unlocks it.
Yeah, he's got great creep spread, and he's really good at expanding all the time, all over the place as well. So he's always got a high amount of income when Terran sits back, and he's able to wait, trade, and he's very strategical with his army positioning and the places that he fights in as well. It's just working out really well, and he's stumped MorroW. He doesn't really know what to do, I would imagine, at this point. Whatever he's trying is getting shut down. He's getting to the position he wants to be in, but he's not winning.
And now we go to Coda, which I want to call, again, we've mentioned it before, the twin map here, basically of Echo, which he could just play the same game. And it's not as if he went into the later stages of that game, Petraeus, with an economical advantage or anything like that. He planned an initial attack, which was unsuccessful, and then was still able to transition into that. Yeah,
I think it could have been successful, though. I really think he didn't execute it very well. He's supply blocked. He didn't really have that many units coming out when he definitely could have done. It just wasn't well prepared. I mean, it was well prepared, but not well executed. If he'd done that, I think he could have just won the game there and then. But because he didn't, he fell in a position where he had to crawl from behind again. So going into game number 3, level pegging from the get-go, he's not playing from behind, so he can actually approach this again and not try something and play a good game. Or he tries something and makes it work. But either way, I think he's going to be feeling very confident.
All right, so we are good to go into game number 3. There's the potential that Petraeus can round this out. 3-0 at the moment with how it's looking going down. MorroW, what does he do? Does he change it up? I mean, you brought up the point very probably accurately of the fact that he's probably just practiced mech and thought it was going to be good enough. Yeah. But at the moment, it's not.
To be honest, he's probably had a couple of practice partners that are Zerg, and he's beaten all of them, and he's feeling great. And, he's entered this, and there's no way that you can just switch away from all the practice you've put in for Challenger when that's the only thing you practice for, to go, okay, it's not working, let me do something I haven't practiced. To be able to do that is almost just instant death.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it then. Game number 3, as we have spawning up to the north as our red Terran. It is MorroW for Team Property. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, it's our blue Zerg. Representing his team proudly for My Insanity, it is Petraeus.
Yep, looking to get 3 out of 3 My Insanity players into the next round, hopefully. With Sarah coming up a little bit later on. Good to see how well he can do.
And expecting good things of him as well, to be honest with you.
Well, 2 out of 2, sorry. 2 out of 2. With, Sarah and Petraeus. I think there isn't another, is there? I don't think so.
My Insanity player in Europe?
That's could play in Premier League. I don't think so.
Oh, in Premier League as a whole? I don't think so.
Kane. 3 out of 3.
Yeah, so
that's the 3 or 2. 3 or 2.
We forgot about Kane. Sorry, mate. Sorry. All right, well, MorroW now adding on barracks in an odd location, actually.
Yeah, and 11 barracks too.
Yeah.
So the barracks is pushed towards his opponent, so we're going to be looking at Reapers. And quite fast, or slightly faster Reapers, with the position being in that direction. So he's going to go 3 Reaper opening against Hatchery first. Reaper's going to travel really fast into the main base of Petraeus, through the middle of the map, jump up and in.
And we'll have that hatchery being planted down pretty fast here for Petraeus. Off the back of all of this, which there isn't much, of course, as he's just going to have that spawning pool coming in pretty soon. But how many drones does he get in between all of this? Because, you know, we see a lot of Zergs playing greedy oftentimes, but it's just the one. So, not taking any risks.
Yeah, this is very, very impressive by Petraeus. I think, like I keep saying, he's going to have a great season. So, hope he can deliver. All right, so MorroW going to be putting on a bit of pressure. How much damage can he get done here to Petraeus, who is looking on the other side of the map, and for the first time in this series, sees no command center first from his first Overlord. And he has a second Overlord waiting to see if there's any SCVs to know if he's been 2 barracked or not. But he has quite a fast gas here. He's going to have Zergling speed at a decent time to be able to combat these Reapers, to push them back, to stop them from harassing the mineral line. He's also going to have to get out quite a few Zerglings to deal with this. Ideally 6. Yeah. Anything less, you start to run the risk of losing them too fast and then starting to lose drones.
Yep, these nuisance units, as the Reapers do jump on in and try and do a little bit of extra damage.
And it's only 4 lings. He's taking damage already. And the Queen's a long way away from popping too.
Keeping the drones alive, though. Doing not good. Oh, very close. Very, very close. The Zergling's going to chase this on for now. There are only 2 at the moment, with the other 2 positioned towards the top. The old loop-de-loop, Sean. Gets them out of there. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, good, good. I was watching that. Really good there by Petraeus. Now MorroW's going to swing down to the natural. Queen is ready. Might be able to snipe 1 and then get out. Nope.
Not even that.
Good, good, good. 3rd Reaper on its way.
So all in all, has this really paid for itself?
The Reapers? I mean, it's as long as he doesn't lose them, they're okay to keep, but it would have been nice to got something. He's got a couple of lings.
That's true, that's true. They couple up wins later on quite nicely if he wants to use those, but it's double command center behind this, so greedy, greedy after the triple Reaper.
Yeah. And where's the 3rd Reaper? Just at home in case any lings escape from the natural to go try to get damage to the SCV line.
And the thing is, Petraeus, like, it gets a full free scout off, basically, because all those Reapers means that the barracks wasn't producing Marines.
Yeah, sees 3rd command center. And that was one he's playing against. And now, what kind of plan does he make? Does he just want to go ahead and take that 3rd base in a little bit here? He's almost at decent enough saturation across these 2, just a few more drones than he can. Actually, I think as soon as he gets close to 300 minerals, he can move down to take that 3rd. Zergling speed is out. 6 Zerglings are there, so you can push any all these Reapers back.
Sitting all around on the other side of the map now. Obviously, that
Roach Warrior and second gas coming down. I was waiting to see what he was going to do. Now he's seen this 3rd command center. He's going to go for a Roach Baneling Bust to end this one.
This is going to be quite scary. MorroW's not going to have that many units. Hellions obviously are a pretty good unit to have against the Banelings if they're going to come along, but...
1 SCV down.
Ouch. Run away.
Starting to build up these overlords. Petraeus had enough of this series for today.
Apparently. He's like, yeah, the last 2 games, yeah, I won them, but it took a little bit longer than I really expected.
Yeah, he's going to go for a 2-base all-in. Is MorroW going to scout this? Because his first couple of Hellions aren't out on the map yet, and usually you'd want to get them out there, but he's a little bit worried. You want to be over to see if there's a 3rd base or not. If he was there, he sees no 3rd base, he starts his preparation already.
Yeah.
But he hasn't even, he's got no idea this is happening. He does have Banshees on the way, which is okay. And Petraeus does know about it, but will they be enough to stop this? There's really no way you build 8 Roaches and, you know, not do damage at this point, I think, if it hasn't been spotted.
And the thing is that even if this doesn't work for Petraeus in this game, he has a 2-game cushion. He could probably just do it again, and then eventually in one of these games it may end up working.
I think he's seen that the Banshees are on the way, so he's going to go for these Roaches and then Lings, and he's gone for the layer and started to add gas. So I think he's going to go for this attack, then straight into the Spire, and just kind of directly counter the fact that there's going to be Hellions and Banshees. So he's not investing overly into this Roach-Ling attack, and I think he changed it up a little bit. So this could be cool.
Yeah, and he's sneaking
going to move over, deal a lot of damage, and by the time that MorroW clears this up, there's going to be Mutilus ready to fight.
And he's sneaking around on this right-hand side. He sees all these Lings moving up there. It's not that many, though. It's not exactly a huge warning. Just about 6 or so Lings that he spots.
Yeah, well, MorroW sees that there's no third base in the middle, so he's like, okay, let me just have a check up here.
He's like, uh-oh.
Wait, what? There's no third?
Panic.
What?
Panic.
And now all of a sudden he's got to be like, wait, what is going on now?
Oh, God, he's got nothing. He's got nothing back at home.
Yeah, the units are going to have to start to come back.
Yeah, very, very quickly, because that's a lot of Lings and a lot of Roaches now on top of this base. Baneling Nest is on the way, as is the Spire. The Banshee is trying to do some damage, but these Queens are already on top of it. He could even lose that Banshee because he's not paying attention to
Supply
it.
depot is up.
The Banshee died as well. The Banshee died, he's in the base. Oh, Petraeus, this could be a golden opportunity for him.
Yeah, and behind this, all he's got to do is bank money, take a third, and then go for the Mutilus switch over. If he gets to that point, he might just win it before that.
Yeah, he's already killed off 13 workers, and the Roaches are on top of all production.
Yeah. He's getting rid of the tech labs to stop any Thors from being built, if that's going to be the choice of anti-air. He sees no engineering bay.
Lings slip in as well. There was the Baneling Nest, so technically it could have morphed in Banelings, but he's just doing a great job of the damage that he's doing at the front.
There's just no units. Even if he gets towards Mutilus, there's just nothing left over.
The door's still open. Lings flood on forwards. There's really not that many at all. There's just these 5 Hellbats that can be combated easily by the Roaches. SCVs come off the line, and it looks like Petraeus, oh my God, after this furious series from him, is really done the business here in Challenger.
Yeah, he's just nailed it today. He came and he showed exactly that he deserves to go to Premier League, and it's a massive moment for him. He's never played in Premier League before. He played in Challenger last season, but this is the season that he finally makes his mark on the European scene as one of the better players in Europe, and this is a big moment. He's going to Premier League. The scan have given up. He's checking supplies, checking up. He sees the Spy. There is no way that MorroW's continuing through. Petraeus makes it to Premier League 3-0ing here. Excellency.
And good sportsmanship there by MorroW as well. Knows when he is bested in Challenger. So commiserations to MorroW, obviously a Premier last season. And now our Challenger goes through and he breaks the code. He breaks our pattern.
He breaks the pattern on the crosses there. That's funny. We can take a look at the schedule and we can see the pattern that's been broken. I can't believe it.
Petraeus, what are you doing?
He destroyed our beautiful zigzag crossy pattern.
Oh.
As MorroW is eliminated.
Oh, well. Regardless, good job there by Petraeus to advance on through. Very happy for the guy, really showing some great games and showing his potential here in Challenger.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before the series begun. This guy is going far this season. It's not just Challenger. It's not just the round of 32. I think he's going to Canada, and I think he's going to perform very well there. All
right, well, that does it for that series. We have one final series here for Challenger to come. And oh boy, is it a good one. It's going to be our rematch from Season 1. It's going to be a My Insanity Serral going up against Invasion Esports Harstem. Join us after the break here at WCS Challenger.